So thanks for joining us on today's episode of Techbridge on Lagos Television. This is the show that connects you to the future. I always emphasize that when we talk about the future is not just something 10 years to come. The future is just right here with us, because when we talk technology, technology is just that future we're talking about. I'm Sheyi Olatide. I welcome you to Techbridge today.
We're in the fourth industrial revolution, and technology determines the way you work, you live, and you relate. And that is why you have to pay attention to technology. Yeah, welcome to Techbridge on Lagos Television. My name is Tony Olagoke.
Okay, so I think I'm going to lay it bare today that most of the time people blame technology for virtually anything that is negative, especially when it comes to fake news, misinformation, spread, hacking, and the rest of it. As if technology is actually not having a human being behind it.
Meanwhile, it's actually the human being that determines what the
technology does. So that is why it's described as an enabler, not an end in itself.
And that is why in those days, you know, you have to go to post office to post. And when you post, you are sure of who you are posting to. Genuine information.
Yeah.
But these days, new media,
you
social media,
who is
you don't even
your
know
information.
the source and the destination. People just post out information. And today we need to talk about how to enable technology to help you to certify that the information you are receiving is actually true.
Yes, we need to put that, because that is the present reality that we have now. Someone was sharing with me before we came on the show that he got a message that he should pay 10,000 to a particular account and he's going to get 50,000 and the rest of it. So he was probably funny enough to fall victim, and voila, you can guess what happened after that.
10,000 disappeared.
It disappeared, and even all the investment. So it's simply because that information was not so correct, and we need to begin to know how to save ourselves from all of that. So Allwell is going to join us after this break to shed more light on that. Please don't go anywhere. Still Techbridge on Lagos Television. So thanks for staying with us on Lagos Television. It is still Techbridge on the station. We told you before that break that we'll be going for something so special, something that you can't just joke with. We're talking about information and how to ensure that you fact-check those information properly so that you don't fall victim. I've got Allwell Okpi here. He's a journalist and, of course, a fact-checker. Thanks for joining us on Techbridge today.
Thank you very much.
Okpi, you're welcome to Techbridge. And
Thank you very much.
Like my friend said, my colleagues, we've been looking at this topic for some time, and the main thing is to start with how people check their facts, because these days you discover that you have fake news all over the place, and that is why we want to do this on this show today.
So we'll pick it from this place that most of the time it becomes, should I say the norm, or something that comes to mind readily, that the present technology is actually an enabler for spreading fake news. So do you subscribe to this as well?
Well, we believe that there have always been misinformation. There have always been people creating narratives that are not correct to push certain agenda. But somehow with the advancements in technology, the social media are becoming so powerful, it has sort of made it a lot easier for people to push out whatever narrative they have. And so, I mean, unlike probably some 1 or 2 decades ago, if you had to broadcast something, whether you know it is true or false, you might have to pay LTV to have you spread that, or you have to find a way to get it into the newspaper. But these days, I mean, you can sit down in your room with your smartphone. You can basically just put out information, and depending on how it is, it could go viral, and a whole lot of people will be reached by that singular act. So sort of the advancements in technology has made it easier for this fake news to spread, really.
Okay, so do we blame technology for that?
I don't think so, because it's technology essentially makes it, it has opened up the access. What you do with it is essentially your responsibility. One of the things that we advocate for is for responsible use of social media.
Okay.
I mean, if you understand the impact of fake news, if you understand the impact of misinformation and disinformation, you will be a little bit more careful when you put out something, because people make decisions based on the information that is available to them. And so if you make decision based on a false information, your decision will be wrong.
Absolutely.
And if your decision is wrong, that means your life outcomes will be affected. And so it behoves on you as a responsible citizen to know that whatever I put out, if it is not accurate, then it's probably going to lead somebody to make a wrong decision.
Okay, for people like me, let's assume I just got the information from somebody. I don't know, maybe it's fake or not.
Oh, it's true.
How can I verify such information? How can I know maybe a particular information is genuine or is fake?
Well, the first thing that we always say is that you just need to be critical. First, ask questions. Because in this time, it's usually that, okay, maybe you get information, say WhatsApp, which is one of the platforms that we have the biggest problem
yes.
with. And then you see that the information sort of fits the narratives that you have in your head about religion, about your ethnicity, or whatever, and then you just tend to say, okay, yeah, I've been saying this. And
so
then
just push it
let
out.
me just push it. But the first step to fact checking is to just pause and say, is this thing accurate? Is this correct? Because that might be, you don't know where it came from. So one of the first things you ask, what is the source of this information? If you cannot verify the source, then it's suspicious. It might have been forwarded to you from a relative, and all that. I mean, and part of the gains that have been made in trying to push back against fake news is some of the things that the platforms have introduced. For instance, on WhatsApp, you see the forward, you see the forward sign there, so you know that, okay, this message was forwarded to me. So the person that sent it to me is not the original.
The original source.
I mean, having it in mind that when you share a false information, you are also somehow endangering your own reputation. Because I mean, you should know that
people should be able to take it for your word.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you put out that information and it ends up being false, it doesn't look good on you. So it's just a motivation for you to say, let me cross check this, and then try to see if you can find out the source of it, and then try to see, okay, this thing, it quoted figures, it quoted that. Can we even check available data to compare with what this is saying?
You talked about reaching for a particular source, checking from a particular source if it is right or wrong.
Sure.
I think there are some pieces of information that might be kind of difficult. Probably we won't know where to look out for. Now, let me paint a scenario. Okay. Sometimes last year, someone, or let me say, this news just got in the social media that President Muhammadu Buhari was marrying a second wife. For me, that one was actually easier to track. Okay. But by the time the set date came, we realized that there was no wedding that took place. But there were some that, let me say, okay, one that came to mind is the one that said that when you have 3 ticks on your WhatsApp, it means that one government agency is monitoring you. And there's another one that said that you should tap a particular message that it turns blue on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is locking down something that you have to start paying from a particular date. Yeah. So those two, they are exceptions. So one, how do I verify those ones with 3 ticks? Who do I ask?
Okay. Yeah, I mean that particular one, we actually did a fact check on that.
Oh,
how? What are the steps? What are the things?
It's on our website. I mean, it basically we looked at you know what WhatsApp has a website.
Okay.
And they do have a blog where they put out some updates about some of these things. Now we found out that some of this some of these hoaxes have been around for years. But there's one other one that we also did recently about WhatsApp, that WhatsApp was going to close by 6 p.m. tomorrow, and that you're supposed to forward it to so many people. If not,
so that
you're going to pay. And that has been around for like probably I think 6 years or more.
Okay.
And it
keeps circulating,
coming back and coming back. But for that the one on Tritix, for instance, on the WhatsApp website, they have all of the information that you need. So if for instance that is going to happen, it should be on the WhatsApp website.
Okay.
So that was basically how we debunked that. To say the information on the WhatsApp website has nothing to do with this. There's nothing like that. And WhatsApp, again and again, in different platforms, they tell you that their platform is end-to-end encryption. That even them that don't get to see what you're saying on their platform. Okay. So I mean that's the official source. Okay. So it's always important to get back to the official source, especially if an authority is quoted. You find out from the authority, okay, is this thing really correct? Because one of the ways that fake news spread or fake narratives are created is when information is scarce.
Oh, exactly.
So when there is no you really don't know what the budget figures are, then someone is probably going to create something and say this is what it is.
So especially during elections.
You have the genuine, you have the fake.
So somebody's going to create the fake. So one way we all believe that government can help is make information easily accessible, so that a young man on the street who quickly wants to check this thing can enter the website of a ministry and find out what is the true position of this.
Oh, that leads me.
It helps.
The other time we were talking about pictures, and we realized that most of the time people will post pictures that are probably not so relevant to what we are doing at the moment. Somebody might just post a picture that there is violence in a particular part of the country, they are killing themselves and the rest of it. Only for you to know that that picture was used like 5-10 years ago for something totally not connected to what is happening. So how do we prevent such? How do we save ourselves from falling victim to such?
Yeah, I mean, using picture out of context is probably the most common ways that pictures are used in misinforming people. Okay. And the easiest way to go about it is to do what we call reverse image search. Okay. And one of the tools that is done is on Google. So you can, if you search Google reverse image search, to take you to a platform where you're able to upload your image, and then it searches through the web for every time that image has been used. Okay. And then you are able to find out, okay, probably there have been dates, older dates where this image has been used, and then you can certainly know that event didn't happen that day, or it probably is not as recent as you thought. But then there are other things that you can also do too, because there are sometimes it's not really just being about it being out of context. Some images are manipulated. Okay. I mean, Photoshop. I mean, something is placed into a photo and all that. Yeah, the reverse image search can help you to do that. And meanwhile, you can also do reverse image search on some other platforms. One of the popular ones is TinEye, which searches not just Google. TinEye also helps you to search even on social media platforms. Okay. And so if you search it, then you're probably going to see the original image before the manipulation. Okay. And then you're able to find out
connect the dots there.
Okay, this you know, this sometimes it's a merger of two pictures. You might find two different examples, and then you're able to identify. And sometimes the most basic thing to even do with picture is even to really study the picture. Sometimes you can see, you know, shadow misplaced. Sometimes you can. So just looking closely at the picture can give you clues that there's something wrong about it. I mean, for instance, you could have a picture of somebody saying that, okay, this picture was taken in Sokoto, and you see palm trees there. You can almost be sure that it is not Sokoto. You know, or you see snow and they say it's in Nigeria. You can be sure that it's not Nigeria. So there are clues. Like just by carefully looking at the pictures that you can find out. And then trying to find out, sometimes one of the things that you can do to find out whether the picture is wrong is to even know the location where the picture was taken. And sometimes you can find that out by looking at the EXIF data of the picture, which you can easily get by right-clicking on the picture, and you get to either properties or information. It gives you, you know, sometimes even the device with which the picture was taken, date, time, and then some will also give you the location in terms of GPS coordinates. If you take that coordinates and put it on Google Map, it points to the exact spot where that image was taken. However, you are not likely to find that in photos posted on Instagram or Facebook, because they remove that information for privacy's sake. And sometimes if the image was taken while maybe the person on the location service, you might not get that coordinates. You know, so I mean, just, you know, find that helps you. And then, I mean, it's also similar with videos, for instance. For videos, some of the tools that you can use, there's this tool that by Amnesty International, that is Amnesty International Data Viewer. It's essentially for videos on YouTube. And so if you can put the video, copy the link of the video and put it there, and it's able to search the entire YouTube for you to find out, you know, whether it has been
just before or not.
It has been there before. So you're also able to know whether it has been used before or not, which clearly gives you a whole lot of information that you need. Another use that is this InVid. It's an extension that you can download or install in your system that you can also use to check.
So it works with the browser, or is it a standalone app?
Yeah, it works with the browser. I think it works well with Chrome. And so you put it there, it pretty much does almost the same thing for you. But that one goes beyond YouTube. The initial one I mentioned is basically for YouTube.
The Amnesty.
Yes, it wouldn't work for Facebook videos. And then there are other, you know, different tools that you can use, that as this VLC that you can use to slow down a video, because sometimes when videos are manipulated, you are able to notice it when you slow it down, and you see the transitions, and you might be able to notice, because if it runs the normal speed, you might not notice the difference. So sometimes that, you know, can be used to slow down, and that's on videoland.org, the VLS. So if you put it there, you can do a whole lot of things with the video, and you're able to identify if it has been manipulated or not. You know, one of the greatest worries that we fact checkers have is what we call deep fake, which is essentially the growing use of artificial intelligence to manipulate videos and photos and all that. Because of the way it is done, it is a lot more difficult to spot, because if you do it manually, it's easier to find out, but when the machine does it's a
still
lot
using
more
technology,
difficult.
really, kind of.
I mean, it's a growing concern. I mean, deep fake, from I think deep learning and then fake, you know, mixed together. So it is a growing concern, but then most of the basic techniques also still work for it. We don't know how it's going to develop in the near future.
For every negative things, you have positive.
Yeah, sure. We also
for every
develop
problem, you have solutions.
technology to check it.
Check that
maybe
too.
in the future, but it's a concern, and it's been used for elections. It's been used for. I mean, we always find high volume of misinformation around election.
that time.
Deep fake.
Okay, I think we might have to drop the curtain on this discussion segment at this point, because this is apparently more than one episode talking about fake news, misinformation, and technology. And at least, thank God, you've been able to exonerate technology that we shouldn't blame technology for spread of fake news. It's just all about how we deploy technology on the positive side you advocated. Thanks so very much, Allwell, for coming on Techbridge today. We hope to have you some other time.
Sure.
Maybe we have version 2 and episode 2.
Hopefully. All right, so it's still Techbridge on Lagos Television. Please stay with us. Well, thanks for staying with us. That is fake news, misinformation, technology in the loop.
Deep fake.
Deep fake, yeah.
And honestly speaking, if you elaborate more on this, we should have episode 2 of this second. Because if you elaborate more, it will open our eyes to how we can handle all this fake news and misinformation and all those things.
Yeah.
And the expert is actually deep in what we need to know. Because people just take information on the go and just spread it. We shouldn't be.
I think the very first thing we need to begin to advocate for is that we need to be patient enough to know, probably to study the information we're about to post out. We need to be able to probably verify on our own, to be convinced that, okay, this information that I'm spreading is actually genuine, then I can spread it.
Absolutely, because it talks about your integrity, like you said.
Yes,
it's an integrity issue, because when I discover that you are a serial liar, I don't need to listen to you. So, but when you're able to keep integrity of whom you are with the kind of information you post out, people will believe you for your word.
Yes, and of course, he also made mention of those tools that we can use to verify those pieces of information, the videos. I'm going to try the Amnesty platform, really, because it's kind of, should I say, cool?
Wonderful development for our world.
Yes,
yeah, it is actually.
So,
and another thing I want to mention, maybe people should know that when you have a link to join a group, don't join.
That is really
don't
important.
join that group, because in there, or maybe you are the administrator of a particular group, don't use join our group using
that link,
because you will see fraudsters joining. And from there, they are able to penetrate into groups.
It makes the group porous to...
Absolutely, and they're able to post all these buy one, get 10. We shouldn't.
And if you hear anything that someone says Lagos State government is announcing this, go to the official channel of Lagos State government. If it is not there, then apparently you need to double check if it is right or wrong.
Fact checking. Yeah,
fact checking, going to the source. So that's our show today. Many thanks for joining us today. Remember that Techbridge is available on YouTube. That is Techbridge LTV. And of course on Facebook, we are Techbridge LTV as well. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can have a prompt of every fresh episode that we upload, and of course all the previous episodes you can watch again and again. Till some other time, keep leveraging on technology, keep achieving more, and keep innovating. I'm Sheyifumi Olatide. Bye for now.
Before you start sharing, clicking, liking, forwarding, please check that information and be sure that the authenticity is actually genuine. My name is Allwell Okpi. I have to go for today. Join us next week. Bye.
All right, bye.